look, this is a series I think a lot of people could go potentially either way. The Pistons have completely turned around their season, and obviously the Knicks are much improved, in my opinion, from last year based off of the trade that they made in the offseason to get Karl Anthony Towns. So what are your first initial thoughts when we're looking at this series?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I just want to say I'm excited for these playoffs. I think that between the 3-6 and the 4-5 matchups, there's just a lot of great series, and I think a lot of better series than we're used to seeing in the NBA. And ratings might be down, but I think the playoffs are going to be super up this season. I mean, official ratings haven't even come out for the season, so I just think the league as a whole is getting healthier for the amount of competition that we have. But starting off with that Knicks versus Pistons series, great matchup between one of the most physical teams, if not the most physical team in the Pistons, versus a Knicks team that feels like they play with a little bit more finesse than Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, but do have like guys like Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby that can be like rough riders and dogs with them as well. I think the fact that they made that cat trade in the offseason makes them just a significantly better team. Not only do you get rid of a playoff Julius Randle who didn't even play last season, but you get a Karl Anthony Towns in return who stepped up his game in the playoffs and has been a better playoff performer as of recently. They also have OG Anunoby for a full season instead of just a couple of games after the trade deadline from last season. Mikal Bridges was obviously another big offseason acquisition for them. So just in general, I think that team is much improved from the last season. They're missing guys like Dante DiVincenzo, which is a hit, especially in the playoffs. He played really well for them. But I think this Knicks team is it could be. I think that the Celtics and the Cavaliers are the clear class of the Eastern Conference, but after that, the Knicks are right there. And I think that just in general, they're the better team. I see them taking it in 6 personally.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I do feel like the Knicks are much improved. You mentioned it, removing Julius Randle from the equation, I do think helps them. It's kind of, yes, they give up DiVincenzo in his playoff performances, but still at the same vein, it felt like it was like the Jalen Brunson show a lot last year. And while I do think he'll probably be able to take the Knicks to the second round based off of just the way that he's played, clutch player of the year, I do have a ton of respect for the Pistons. This is like another one of those series or the regular season series where the lower seed won the series for the year. The Pistons were 3-1 this season. Cade Cunningham averaged 31 points and 8 assists against them this season. 13-25 3-point shooting. This will be close. My thing is like I don't think that this is going to be a 5-game series either way. I don't think the Knicks are going to win in 5, and I think that this definitely could go 6. It just really comes down to how well Malik Beasley, in my opinion, can play for the Pistons. I think that that's their angle or their path to winning and beating the Knicks is, the Knicks trying to be able to stop them, stop their bench and their 6th man of the year. He had 319 3-pointers this year.
Good for second in the league. If Anthony Edwards didn't take it away from him in the last game of the season, he would have been the 3-point king this season. So yeah, I mean, the Pistons are definitely much improved. I don't know if you have anything else on them, but I definitely want to give like as many flowers as I can to the Pistons because they get a tough matchup in the first round. I think they match up with the Pacers or the Bucks really well and can maybe get out of either of those series, but kind of tough luck of the draw because they get the Knicks in the first round. And I think that they're just the third best team in the East pretty comfortably. But I mean, the Pistons are great too.
Yeah, the Pistons are great. I think I just trust the Knicks a little bit more. It'll be a theme of this entire podcast where we're talking about a young team making their first appearance in the playoffs and going against a team that has a fair amount of experience. And while the Knicks maybe haven't been able to make it as far in the Eastern Conference playoffs as maybe a lot of the Knicks fans would have liked, they still have plenty more experience than the Pistons. So I think it's partially that I'm more comfortable picking the Knicks in this series for that reason alone. Also, Malik Beasley kind of has struggled in the playoffs in his career. He shot 30%, or no, excuse me, he shot 27% on threes during the 2023 postseason with the Lakers, and he just wasn't that guy last year for the Bucks. Certainly has turned it around a lot this year, but this could be one of those scenarios where we see a lot of the Pistons players kind of adjust in the first couple of games of the series based off of how the playoffs are reffed and just the regular intensity of it. And I think the Knicks would be able to jump out to a 2-0 series lead, especially since they're at home. And then at that point, I don't know if the Pistons are going to be able to claw their way back to a series win, but I certainly think it'll be close, especially as the series goes on. I foresee this being more so like maybe the Knicks go up 3-1, the Pistons take game 5, and then the Knicks win in 6 games.
Yeah, it just also feels like the Pistons are missing that second or third score that they can depend on. That's not Cade Cunningham. Obviously, averages 26 points for the season, has a really great season. But besides that, Malik Beasley, like the almost 3-point king this season. But like it just feels like they're a player or if not a year away from making any serious noise in the playoffs. They have that Rough Rider mentality, and I think that contributes to being a good playoff team. But I just can't see them taking out the Knicks in the first round, even though I do think it'll be a closer series than maybe like some people that haven't been watching Pistons basketball like this season like could imagine a Pistons team taking like the Knicks, who should have been a conference finals team last year, to like 6 or 7 games. But I definitely think it'd be a tough competitive series. But in the end, I just don't see another guy besides Cade Cunningham being able to step up for the Pistons in the playoffs. That's like either Cade Cunningham or Malik Beasley. And if those are the two guys that you're relying on for consistent scoring in the playoffs, I don't see you making it past the first round, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is also a huge win for the Pistons so far this year. Like this, there's no shame in going out in the first round after tripling your win total. So this is certainly not, us dogging on the Pistons, or saying that they're not any good. They're a very good team.